Okay, so my other videos have been really long up until this point. Most of my videos have been about 15 minutes, so I'm going to jump right into this one and try and move rather quickly through some of this stuff. I've run into quite a number of bugs throughout the games. I've done probably 10 playthroughs at this point. The biggest bug that I've found in the starting area is the dialogue from the cutscenes just playing immediately after breaking the boxes for Brenda. They just start playing with no explanation or context as to what's happening. Like if I don't move forward, they just start playing anyway. That's the only audio glitch that I found, but that happened in my first 2 playthroughs. It hasn't happened since then. I'm gonna move quickly through these though. The hitboxes across the board in the combat and here are pretty inconsistent. Sometimes they work right off the bat, other times they don't register like you saw just there. So talking to her is fine. It took me about 10 to 15 minutes of running around this area and probably 3 different playthroughs to find that I could go through here to continue. That is basically impossible to see from back here or know that it would be a way to go, especially because it doesn't even look big enough for the player to go through. So this area definitely needs more direction and explanation. The lack of menus has also been an issue, lack of control schemes and explanation on that side of things. So the only issue I've noticed with platforming is sometimes getting stuck on edges. I'll try and recreate it here. So right there, the last like 3 or 4 jumps, there we go. It would not let me up on top of the platform. I kept getting stuck on the edge as I was trying to jump up, and that's happened in multiple areas with the platforming. Happening in there, in there. So I'm jumping above the platform and it's getting me stuck. So like I said before, the first major bug I ran into was this audio just playing regardless of the fact that I hadn't progressed up here to the fire escape. I was still down in the alleyway and the cutscene audio just played anyway.
There's no way.
It looks like, or it kind of seems like that glowing stuff on your wrist shouldn't show up until after the cutscene has happened, but it's there for the beginning of the game. A quick note, now that this cutscene is played, all the UI is showing with the health bar, the reticle, and the little charm bracelet up in the corner. All that stuff works, however, I could not get my recording to show the right hand side of the screen so you can see the bracelet. It does work though, it's just I could not get my recording to show it. This is the second biggest glitch that I have found so far. I don't believe anybody in my team has found a way past this point. How it's intended, it seems. I haven't been able to find a way through. None of the abilities seem to work here. So some members just kind of got stuck here and couldn't continue. I found that by pressing 9, I could skip to the next world. Or at least what I'm assuming is the next world. Real quick before I go into the combat, I'll go over the controls real fast and the issues that I've run into there with the abilities. So discovering this took me probably 4 playthroughs. There is no menu or control scheme anywhere, and I think I've mentioned that already, but without that, it's incredibly difficult to figure out how different things work and how you're supposed to do things. It took me a long time to figure out that I could scroll through these abilities. So the first couple of times I did find out that I could scroll, the abilities stopped working after scrolling. No kicks would work, none of the shift abilities would work. So first 3 or 4 times I used the scrolling through the abilities, it just broke all the abilities. And here again, this is the most consistent bug I've seen throughout the game, is the just lack of registering in the combat. It happened with the boxes earlier, and it's happening again here. I died there when I wasn't paying attention. It's very hard to hit the snakes. I've done a couple of, actually I've done about like 10 playthroughs, and I have not been able to figure out a consistent way to damage them. Shifting to other abilities seems to do a little bit more damage at some points, but it's more about registering the hits. It just doesn't seem to work half the time. Sometimes I'll be kicking this enemy in front of me, and the enemy behind me will take damage. Sometimes kicking them from the side seems to work. Other times I can just sit here and kick them endlessly from right in front of them and they'll take no damage. I died again. I'm going to try and get through this quickly so I can hit the rest of the areas. Another issue that I've noticed with the combat, I don't think it's happened this time so far, but the cartwheel ability or any of the other like what seem like special attacks with their own animations and stuff, I have not been able to figure out how to consistently get those to work. Like I just did one there, have no idea how I did it. Those have been very inconsistent, and there's not really any explanation on how to do them. So this has been one of the bigger holdups for the overall game. Is like, it's really hard to get through these combat sequences because half the time your kicks don't land. So I've noticed I can choose to go that way now, or I can go this way. I haven't really figured out the difference. I'm going to try and go this way because it seems like anytime I go that way, finishing up the little hallway over there that teleports you over here, afterwards I just get a crash. So this will let me go through here with no issues. This is where my game has crashed about 4 times now. I don't know if it's the number of enemies or if it's the path that I chose to take to get here, but pretty much every time I've gotten here it's crashed. I haven't made it much further than this. Again, oh god, the lack of consistency with the combat. It's really hard to hit stuff. Yeah, I've died again. I haven't been able to make it through that area, whether it's because of the crash or the combat. I'm gonna try and get through here real quickly to show another area. So here I can't get it to register any kicks. It's very hard to get through the combat. The snakes just swarm you, don't register any of your kicks. So like this is taking way too long to get through here. It's so hard to hit these things, and now my kicks are somewhat working. Gonna try and stay alive so I don't have to start again, but so sometimes hitting them from the back seems to help a little bit, but it shouldn't be that difficult to hit them. Even the little ones give you issues sometimes. So I'm not going to go that way again, but like I said, down there is usually where the game crashes. Up here, I'm not going to play through the whole thing because the video is already 10 minutes long, but I'm going to explain real quick what happens through here. So after you beat these guys, which again, very difficult to get that to work, the combat's been very frustrating. Making it down this hallway and fighting the snakes that spawn on top of the roofs. It's worked a couple of times, and then when you go down the hallway, it just teleports you back down this way. But the last time I did a playthrough, I got stuck there and had to start over this level because the snakes spawned in the wall instead of where they were supposed to, so I couldn't hit them. They were actually inside the building and I could see them inside the window. So that was the only time that bug had occurred, but that's what happened last time. I'm going to end it there since I'm already at about 10 minutes. But that's pretty much all the bugs that I've run into throughout the multiple playthroughs I've had so far. And like I said, the bigger one is the crash that happens once you get past that gate almost every time.
Alright friends, today we are going to be playtesting Charmed. Let's get it.
Still thinking about your mom, aren't you?
I just don't get how she can up and disappear like that. But then again, it wouldn't be the first time.
I mean, she's always been kind of flaky. And she knows you can take care of yourself.
Jess, it's been a month. It's not like I can go to the cops because my dad.
I know. You could always come stay with me.
Thank you.
Of course, that's what best friends are for. I'll see you in class tomorrow. My old flabby arms. And, well, would you be a doll and break down those old boxes for your sweet old Brenda?
Of course, Miss Brenda. No problem.
Ooh, that kick noise is really loud and sudden. I did that by clicking. I didn't know I could do that. Okay, what else? Q. Typical WASD. The look is it's really fast. This is kind of nauseating. There's also kind of lag when I move. Oh, you can't go any further than this. Also, it's kind of weird that you can just kind of see off into nowhere, unless that's intentional. In which case, it's cool. But it throws off the immersion of the world, especially as you can't go any further than this. Also, if you notice, her feet are clipping into the street, and she appears to kind of be like floating just above the ground. She's not quite entirely on it. Yeah, you can also kind of clip into the building and the sidewalk a little bit here. Okay, word. Yeah, the look is a little bit much. And so is the volume on the FFX. Let's see. Okay, it's P for pause. We have options. So game difficulty, sound. Okay, so raising or lowering the overall sound changes the sound bars. Music you can only get to here. SFX you can only get to here as well. Oh, is it entirely connected? So this is all the way up? Okay. I see. So this controls overall sound, and this controls which controls both of these, and this controls like the minute. We're going to turn down SFX. And we got brightness, which is its own thing. Okay, word. This back button is kind of glitchy and difficult to trust charms. There could be better graphics for these each of these charms. It's kind of it could just be improved. Also, the text on the screen could be improved. And the way the overlay has this gradient's kind of harsh here. It doesn't fade quite correctly. And this text is just, it's really different from this text here. I think it's the outline. This menu overall could just have a bit of work on it. And this button could be centered. Well, I broke the boxes.
All right, Miss Brenda.
Oh, okay.
I think that's all of them.
Oh, thank you, dear. Your mother must be so proud of what a wonderful young woman you're becoming.
Thanks, Miss Brenda.
Oh, you can't look at her face.
Felicity?
Mom?
It's me, honey. I know this might seem scary, but I need you to listen to me.
How are you talking to me? How am I talking to you?
Felicity, I know you have a lot of questions, but we don't have a lot of time. The fact that you're even able to talk to me right now means you're in danger.
Is it because of your bracelet? Is the snake? Why did you take your charm?
Wait, they already came? Honey, are you okay?
Yeah, Mom. I'm fine. It was trying to
Her
steal one
hand
of your
clips,
charms, but I got it
clips
back.
into her body
What are...
as
You
well.
made faster progress than I thought. I never wanted to involve you
Like
in all
her
this.
arms just clip into her
That's why
body
I left.
entirely.
You left because of your charms.
There's so much you don't know, Felicity. And I wanted to keep it that way. But now I have no choice. I tried to use the bracelet to keep the harms at bay and distance you from this as much as possible.
Mom, if you could fight the snake things with the charms, then I can too.
There's bigger forces at play here, Felicity. It cost me my family and my freedom. I can't have you going, putting yourself in more danger than you're already in.
Well, that's not up to you. If this bracelet is so powerful, then I can use it to save you. Just tell me what I need to do. Trust me, Mom. I can do it.
Her hair is clipping into her jacket too. Oh, okay. What the heck? It really feels like you should be able to get up there, like that's what that looks like.
There's the snake that stole your charms!
I thought they only tried to take one. Which ones do you have?
I only have the snake-looking one and the lightning one.
You only
well,
have
then
two?
I'll use these two to get them
Felicity,
back.
You can't go taking all these things with just the power of venom and but you can't just those go are the fragments that power your charms. The more powerful the charm, the more collective power it requires. Snake in your bedroom.
Kill the
Great
harms,
job,
get the
Felicity.
glowies.
The
Now
boy
Got
get
it.
is
the
like
fragments.
clipping
Try using
over
the
each
power
other.
of venom on another harm.
What does Cloud do? Awesome!
Slow
I'm
down,
gonna do that all the
Felicity.
time!
It's
Cloud requires
Already
more
on it.
fragments
the
before
audio
you
is
can use it.
layering.
Once you've done that, you can try it out on another harm.
It's rumbling! What does it mean?
It means it's ready. Just use
Was
your
that
hands to
lightning?
direct the magic
This
at
is
harm.
amazing!
You may have noticed that
coming?
each charm gives you
Mom!
a little extra.
Where is everybody?
Felicity,
How
I
did
have
this
to go.
happen?
He's coming back.
Oh
When
wow.
did this happen?
All of the
I
dialogue
love
is
you,
just
honey.
playing. Me. Oh my gosh. Okay, was kind of frozen entirely.
Still
And
thinking
it
about your
restarted
mom,
now
aren't
again.
I just don't get how she can...
We're back in it, waiting for it to be acknowledged.
Felicity,
There's no way.
It's me, honey. I know this might seem scary, but I need you to listen to me.
How are you talking to me? How am I talking to you?
It really feels like
Felicity,
you should be able to go up
I
here.
know you have a lot of questions, but we don't have a lot of time. The fact that you're even able to talk to me right now means you're in danger.
Oh my
Is
god,
it
you
because
can't
of
come
your
up here.
bracelet? Is it the snake? Why did it take your
What
charm?
was that difficulty?
They already came? Honey, are you okay?
Yeah, Mom. I'm fine. It was trying to steal one of your charms, but I got it back.
They made faster
Holy
progress than I
fuck.
thought.
Okay.
I never wanted to involve you in all this. That's why I left.
You left because of your charms.
There's so much you don't know, Felicity. And I wanted to keep it that way. But now I have no choice. I tried to use the bracelet to keep the harms at bay and distance you from this as much as possible.
Mom, if you could fight the snake things with the charms, then I can too.
There's bigger forces at play here, Felicity. It costs me
Okay,
my
that was kind of
family
neat
and my
animation.
freedom. I can't have you going, putting yourself in more danger than you're already in.
Well, that's not up to you. If this bracelet is so powerful, then I can use it to save you. That's what I need to do. Trust me, Mom. I can do it.
These animations are cool. I love the lighting effects. So now there's new items in the UI. I have a heart in the upper corner. So I assume that indicates my health, and then I have like a snake charm, I guess, symbol. This is an IKEA shelf. I know because I have one in my bedroom. There's some weird in the lower left corner geometry stuff going on, some weird shading things on the shelves of this guy, but that's just cosmetic. I like your little fountain. It's cute. Nice texturing and lighting on this plastic tablecloth. Yeah, it's kind of obnoxious to get over things. This jumping mechanic could be improved on. It feels like I need to like clip into it and click and like to kick to be able to get up off platforms. Wow, this move camera is really fast. You can just clip through this door entirely. Oh, lighting change. Creepy. Nice. Okay, spooky corner. I'm gonna, we gotta investigate all the roads. Okay, I hear some faint sounds. I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit. Oh, but the kicking's too loud. We gotta turn that back down. Alright, down to go down a creepy hallway. Got the elevator. Alright, the green glowing stuff. Oh, can I get in? Is it legal for me to get in? No? An elevator now. Go through the ceiling a little bit. Oh, okay. That did something. But I hit Q and something happened. But now I can't do it again. I also can't click to kick either. Oh. Middle mouse button does something. Makes a bracelet change. So we killed the snake, and now we're here in this area, and I don't really get what to do next.
There's the snake that stole your charms!
Oh, coming back here
I
triggered
thought
the
they only
audio
tried to
again.
take one. Which ones do you have?
I only have the snake-looking one and the lightning one.
You only have two? Felicity, you can't go taking on these things with just the power of Venom and Cloud.
Well, then I'll use these two to get them back.
Okay, Felicity. But you can't just go using your magic all willy-nilly. Do you remember those fragments you collected when you killed that snake in your bedroom? Those are the fragments that power your charms. The more powerful the charm, the more fragment power it requires.
Kill the harms, get the glowies. Got it.
Great job, Felicity. Now that you have a fragment, try using the power of Venom on another harm.
Whoa, that's awesome! I'm gonna do that all the time! What does Cloud do?
Slow down.
Okay, there has to be a way to get through
Cloud
here.
requires more fragments before you can use it. Once you've done that, you can try it out on another harm.
Already on it.
So I can't kick anymore. Doing this like zooms in. Maybe it's a targeting?
It's rumbling. What does it mean?
It means it's ready. Just use your hand to direct the magic at a harm.
Was that lightning? This is amazing!
You may have noticed that each charm
So the
gives
audio's
you a
progressing,
little extra.
but the game itself is not.
I have to go. He's coming back. I'll talk to you when it's safe. I love you.
I'm in a new
honey.
area and that's
Wait,
cool, but I
Who's
can't.
coming?
I can't. Like.
Mom!
Hello, hello. This is my bug test report for the game Charmed. Right off the bat, the player does have control of the character. They can't move around, but you can jump and kick in place. You can hear the sound effects when they do the attacks. And then this little area kind of breaks immersion with the floating buildings. Probably be good to close that up or add something to it. I wasn't really too sure where to go here. I ended up pushing a bunch of random buttons. I accidentally pushed R and it restarted the game.
Still thinking about your mom.
The character's head clipped through the wall here. I wasn't too sure if this path was the right way or not. And then I kind of had trouble getting up on this window here. And then here I was playing around in the options menu and I noticed the game difficulty slider kind of goes off of the bar. The other ones are fine, but it only happens with the game difficulty one. And the back button likes to flicker when you hover the cursor over it. And then looking in that charms option, the graphics kind of go blank when the cursor hovers on them. There's a couple texture errors here, and there are some places where the textures would bleed on the character, like this poster in the bedroom and the little dark section of the elevator here. Well, those are the only places I've seen it, though. And then in level 2, I think it is, I always do this. I just decided to go in the water and see if I could go off the map, which I was able to. And I noticed trying to fight this like horde of snakes, you could pin them and then they just kind of don't really do much. They just try to go around you. They don't attack you. And then this is as far as I could get to this little area with this fight, because every time I tried to attack them, or get them hoarded up like this, the game would crash. Yeah.
Forgive the lack of game audio, it's actually working, it's just OBS refused to pick it up, and I couldn't really get this bug to replicate. I could only get it to happen once, so I'm gonna have to show you just the footage that I have. Basically, after the elevator scene in the first sort of purple wall area where you fight snakes for like the second time, I didn't actually get any snakes to spawn, so I couldn't progress because I couldn't defeat the enemies to lower the purple wall. So first I want to show a few bugs. First of all, you can pause within the intro sequence, but the game audio still seems to be playing no matter what you do, and the even if you
she's
slide
always
all
been
the
kind of
sound
flaky.
bars down to
And
nothing,
she knows you
then
can take care of
still have
yourself.
the game audio playing.
Jess,
And if you
been a
hover
month.
over the back button,
It's
it
not
will
like I can
sometimes
go to
just
the
go
cops 'cause
invisible
my
without
dad.
too much reason for it.
I know.
If your first
know.
test is with the
You could
options
always
menu
come
is
stay
during the
with me.
first audio
Thank
sequence
you,
as well, it
Jess.
sort of implies
Of
to the player
course,
that the
that's what best
sound
friends are for.
system isn't working,
I'll see you in
since
class
lowering all the
tomorrow.
sound sliders to nothing gets no effect, and none of these sound sliders, like the SFX, music, sound, make a sound when you move them. So, especially with SFX and the master sound, you need some sort of feedback to show that it's actually changing something, or else you don't know where you're setting the levels to. As you can probably tell from the background audio, the next bug is that you can still do all your jumps and kicks during the cutscenes, which means the player can massively displace themselves during these cutscenes, as each kick will push the player slowly forward over and over and over again. If you do this the whole time, you can pretty much get out of the visibility, like the shot of some of the cutscenes, just by kicking the punch over and over again. While I'm mainly showing this within the first cutscene, you can also do this in the second cutscene in the apartment, which brings you out into the hallway and over to by a door, if I'm remembering correctly. This one's a smaller issue, but the hit collision of this windowsill just isn't there, so you can currently fit around inside it. It doesn't seem to cause any massive bugs. You can't like clip through the walls, it seems, but you can just walk through that small ledge there. The next issue I found is that the first two snakes you run across don't seem to be fully implemented yet. The second snake, as you can see here, doesn't respond to anything you do. You can attack at it over and over and over again, and it doesn't seem to take damage, it doesn't move, doesn't attack. And the fourth snake that you can come across in the room just prior to this hallway, while you can kill it and do damage to it, it doesn't move and isn't aggressive, so it kind of just suggests to the player that they're just meant to be ignored more than attacked or feared. My next bug is that the flickering car in the first fighting ring doesn't have proper collision with the ground. If you stand on it a bit, it will get pressured down, and while the headlights will stick out, the back of the car will sink into the ground. My next concern is that the Q-burn, beyond making a green wave effect, it doesn't seem that the Q-burn actually does anything when it's burst, because it doesn't seem to affect enemies or move objects, other than making a sound and animation. I'm not certain even what it's meant to do. Also, this snake kind of bugged out, and the barrier preventing me from going on disappeared, so I could just proceed onwards without actually killing the snake at all.
This happened.
Like, even if I just continue
When did
on,
this happen?
the purple field continues as if the snake had died, and I can just watch him from here.